You.
Hey everyone, this is Todd and CJ at the Pick and Roll Show at ballbeforall.net. And we haven't been here in a while, Todd, but we're just going to get right into it. NBA playoffs started, and I guess we'll break down the East first. Yep. Philly Bulls.
Philly Bulls. After the game one loss, Derrick Rose went down, which is real terrible. But they responded like they should have in the second game of the Sixers and really outplayed them in the second half.
Exactly. And quickly, the Bulls have been playing well all season when they didn't have Derrick Rose. It was an 18-9 record, but this is the playoffs now, Todd, and that second game just showed you that the Sixers are for real and that they can beat a Bulls team who feel they are confident without Rose. But
so I think Philly has that advantage. They have to going home now.
They took home court, Todd. Game 3 in Philly, it's going to be rocking there. So we're going to have to see how Iguodala, Lou, Drew, and Evan step up there. So.
Right. Knicks, Miami, are the Knicks all but done now?
Knicks are done, Todd. Amari Stoudemire, as they say, he punched his ticket for the Knicks to be not. I will not say swept, Todd, but I'll say they're going to lose in at least 5.
Yeah. So. The Heat are just playing too well, and having that happen, and Iman Shumpert going down with his ACL injury too is it sucks too. So.
And I feel LeBron James is just showing why he's the NBA MVP this year.
Yeah. Carmelo will get 30, but they're not gonna get more than a game, so that's done.
Exactly. And then 3-6, Magic and Pacers. Magic surprisingly, Todd, took game 1.
They took game 1, but or Indiana came back game 2. They won that rather convincingly, and we'll see though, because Orlando, they took one in Indiana.
Without Dwight Howard.
Yeah, so they're going back home, and we'll see what they do there.
Exactly. And then quickly around the East, our final matchup is the Hawks-Celtics. Hawks are actually the lower seed, but they're playing at home. So, Todd, what did you see from? This is now 1-1 as well. The Hawks took game 1, but game 2, Paul Pierce just kind of took the team on his back.
You would think that after losing Rondo for the suspension, that after the Hawks dismantled them in game 1, I think pretty badly, that Boston wouldn't even have a chance going into game 2. But behind Paul Pierce, they took that. I think he had 36. Yeah, Kobe had 38, but 36 and. The Celtics have to have control now. Rondo's coming back. Josh Smith, who knows how long he's going to miss with that injury.
That's something to look out for. Josh Smith was injured late in that game. So, Boston's going to ride their experience now in the home crowd at the Garden, Todd. So it's going to be an interesting series. So that's pretty much a quick roundup of the East. Now we're going to get right into the West for you guys. 1-8 is Jazz Spurs, Todd. They've only played one game so far this series.
Game 2 tonight.
Game 2 is tonight, Wednesday night. So, what did you see from the Spurs, Todd, in game
1? Just like they've been doing the whole year, balanced. Tim Duncan, Parker, Ginobili, just playing well, and that's my pick for the finals. And I think even though it was a close game, they pulled out in the end. I think they still beat the Jazz in 5, 6 at the most.
I would say the Jazz are definitely going to win one at home, Todd. I'll say Spurs take this game tonight, but like you said, the balance of veterans and young players in the Spurs has paid dividends. And Coach Greg Popovich, who just won Coach of the Year yesterday, he was able to rest like you said, Duncan, Parker, Ginobili, the 3 veterans a lot of the season. So now they're refreshed, and the young Danny Green and Kawhi Leonard have been plugged in there.
And I think you're seeing that. That resting and their health being back into the playoffs right now with those 3. Dallas, Oklahoma City, a lot of people are picking the Thunder, but really that series could be 2-0 Dallas right now if it weren't for a couple of Kevin Durant shots.
Yeah, and like you said, that series has been arguably the most exciting series out of all 8 of them. I see the Thunder as being the more athletic team, Todd, but like you said, the Mavericks, you can never just put away a champion that easily, and that's what the mindset of Dirk, Jason Kidd, and the Jet are. They lost Tyson Chandler this year, who by the way is the Defensive Player of the Year, and they also lost Deshaun Stevenson, Lamar Odom. Exactly.
So, Oklahoma City did what they had to do at home.
Took care of them.
But if Dallas goes back, they take 2. Who knows? 2-2 going back to Oklahoma City. Who knows what could happen there?
And Todd, I can honestly see it going back 2-2. This is gonna be a 7-game series, folks. I have a feeling. Oklahoma City is still my pick to make it to the finals, so I'm gonna say them in 7. But this series has been up and down, and Dallas in front of their home crowd, riding the last playoff game they saw was an NBA championship.
Yeah.
So.
Denver Lakers is that 6-3, but Does Denver have a chance? I know they're going home now. They're down 2-0 though.
Yeah, Todd. From what I understand, Denver is a very high up-tempo paced team at home with the high altitude. I don't know how much that plays into the mix, but they like to run at home. And Ty Lawson, he's just so quick, and they do, like I said, they're going to score a lot of points. But who's going to stop buying them on the Nuggets, Todd?
He's going to stop Kobe. They like to score on the road as well, obviously, but the Lakers have held them to, I think I just wrote 188 in 2 games, and they're averaging, I think, 104 a game in the regular season. So that's the Lakers' defense. And Kobe believes they're a title contender. I agree. I actually think if it's not the Spurs, it's the Lakers over Oklahoma City. But
and Todd, if Kobe says something, he usually backs it up. And he's been backing up with his play. Would you say 38?
31 in the first game.
31 in the first game.
Averaging 34, 35, and no signs of slowing down.
He's going to make sure his team, takes advantage and wins the playoff series. So.
Good.
Then in the last series we have, Todd, Clippers-Memphis, who also have only played 1 game. But that was an exciting game, folks. And if you haven't seen it, I mean,
we were texting that night, and I remember one of us said, this game's over. It was like 8 minutes left or 10 minutes left. They were down 20-some, and I remember either I said it or you said they were like, it's a long game and a long series. And turns out I turn around 10 minutes later and they're down 8 points. And
Todd, a 28-3 run over the last 8 minutes. That's just incredible. I think I remember in my ballbeforeall.net, in my blog, I think I had the Clippers in 7.
Yeah.
And I was texting Todd, and I was just saying that the Clippers are toast, man. If they're getting blown out here, they're going to lose game 2 and then possibly win a game or 2 at home. But that comeback right there epitomizes that the Clippers may be back in the West, and they're going to be a team to reckon with.
But Butler went down, which I think is a big blow to that team.
And that's something that that didn't make any headlines.
But that's a vital part of their team, and I just don't see them getting past Memphis really. So we'll see. But
we're gonna talk about a little bit of local news too with the Philadelphia 76ers and their series with the Bulls. Derrick Rose last night, Todd. That was the first game that the Bulls have been playing without him this postseason. He received a standing ovation. Presenting the game ball to the officials. He was in a boot and he could barely walk. So does that win last night for the Sixers, Todd? Does that kind of give them added motivation? That they can be a Bulls team without Rose, and how does that Rose injury how's it going to affect this series, especially for the Bulls?
Well, for the Bulls, they, like their coach said, they've overcome every obstacle thus far, but it doesn't get worse than losing the MVP. So see how you respond to that. But Philly, they have to think that they're in control now because you don't have to deal with Derrick Rose on the defensive end, and you see Drew obviously.
Look at Drew Holiday's game
on the offense. He's free to roam, and Collins actually did that in the first game. I remember he shot like the first couple of shots. I think Collins wanted Drew to attack Rose and see how he was doing, but
and when Rose is in the game, Todd, he pretty much runs that offense. Obviously, if he'll blow by his defender, he's going to draw other defenders towards him, dish it off to Noah and Boozer down low and Gibson. And now that they have C.J. Watson,
Watson's not that kind of player.
He's not going to blow by Drew or Lou. So
he has time to rest on defense. Drew, that is, and put in 26 last night for that career high.
Yeah, Scottie Pippen, Todd. He also said that he believes the Bulls are still the #1 team to beat in the East, even without Derrick Rose.
I don't think that. So, but for Philly, they could see themselves well in the conference finals. Remember how good they were playing at the beginning of the year? If they get past the Bulls, who says they can get past Boston,
Celtics or Hawks?
I mean, so we Miami, assuming they get past Indiana, Orlando. So
because they don't reseed in the NBA, so the Sixers or Bulls will play the winner of the Celtics-Hawks series. So that is something to watch for. Game 3 Friday, ESPN2 or TNT. Whichever, at 8 o'clock.
We'll be there.
We will be there actually in attendance, hopefully blogging and tweeting all the way, so make sure you follow us.
One thing I hope that doesn't happen, though, with his injury, that I don't know if I told you, but that it doesn't become a Brandon Roy situation where he gets forgotten about and his career just gets wiped out completely short, because he still has... This is what, in his third year, fourth year?
He's probably on about 23.
He hasn't hit his peak yet. So,
and honestly, besides LeBron, Derrick Rose was one of our favorite players. So, we hope he gets well soon. But we hope that the Sixers can,
that'll be tough
obviously pull this one out.
Overcome. But
and then,
I just want to say that we've been going back to summertime months ago that we were thinking there was not going to be NBA, but we kind of thought, there's going to be a season eventually, and now we get to see the playoffs, which we've been waiting for the whole season.
So exciting.
the Dallas games, the Oklahoma City games. I mean, they come down to the wire both times, so I don't know how you don't just get up for that.
It's like you said. I mean, the NBA lockout was probably like one of the most excruciating pains for us because as bloggers of the NBA, we really had nothing to talk about, nothing to give you guys. That's why we did our 74 reasons. But now that the NBA came together and that they're just showing the fans here how exciting NBA playoff basketball is, and anything can happen. Like you said, Derrick Rose's injury may be vital. They were the #1 seed and looked at to be the only team that could beat the Miami Heat, but now who knows?
But real quick, do you think the Bulls are done now without him?
I think that the Bulls will still win this series. I hate to say it, but I think it's not going to go 5. I think this series will go 7 now. But if Philly, Todd, what I would say is if Philly can take 2 at home, these next 2 at home, they're gonna be in full throttle, full speed ahead.
I was thinking before for a game and a half, I was thinking with or without Derrick Rose, the Bulls win this, in 5 or 6 because the way they defend and just rebound, they would kill Philly, and that second half just shows to me that I think that they have a legitimate shot at winning. So 6 or 7, we'll see.
Exactly.
Who's your finals prediction? That quick.
Finally, we're gonna give our finals predictions. Todd gave you his earlier, but he'll give it again. I will have the Miami Heat over the Oklahoma City Thunder, who many say might not even get there because they can't beat Dallas. But I have the Heat over the Thunder in 6 games, just because I feel that the Heat are not going to be beaten. They're on a mission to win a ring. Bosh, Wade, LeBron.
You can see it.
Yeah, they're as you can tell in the playoffs right now in the first series, they're just not giving up, and that's what's gonna happen. And the reason I picked the Thunder, Todd, is just because they're young and athletic and very exciting. But I also I don't see the Spurs matching up well against the Thunder. But now a possible Lakers series in the next round is going to be the deciding factor.
Yeah.
So if they can get by the Mavericks, which they're up 2-0 barely.
Yeah.
But
I have Heat over the Spurs though, and I think it's one of those 3 in the West. Which I think in the East it's only Miami.
The Heat are the only answer in the East right now.
So I'd be shocked if I'd be more shocked if the Heat. Well,
didn't make
I'm not gonna say. I was gonna say I'd
Yeah.
be more shocked if the Heat didn't make the finals than Duke beating Lehigh or Lehigh beating Duke. But
yeah.
I couldn't say that.
Yeah.
But I think it's Miami over Spurs in 6 games.
Yeah.
I forgot we forgot to talk about this, but how about Amari's whole thing?
Well, now what we talk about the Knicks thing. Amari kind of took out his anger. They were just getting, the 2 games they just didn't show up, and they were just getting embarrassed, So Amari Stoudemire did what some of us males might do, and just took out his anger on some innocent fire extinguisher glass. And Todd, I mean, the laceration is the least,
Of their worries.
Of their worries, exactly. Now that Amari is missing, I mean, he was the building block next to Tyson Chandler, but. I mean, a lot of them think that the Knicks are a better team without Amari. Now, Melo will slide into the number 4, get the more shots. But I mean, what do you think, Todd?
They had the advantage down low with Amari and Chandler going up against
Bosh and Anthony.
Joe and Anthony. So, I mean, Amari, like you said, he punched I think their chance, if they even had one, completely out now.
They're done.
So
yeah, I see them done quick.
Which kind of sucks with the league with that and Derrick Rose and Shumpert and. JJ or Josh Smith, so.
Yeah. Well, we hope that this talk and all of our blogs gets you guys excited for NBA basketball.
And you should buy a shirt if you want.
And we are sporting a new shirt, ballbeforall.net.
Larges for you small people. Medium I have.
And if you also check out ballbeforall.net, the site, we have a chance at you had a chance at winning a shirt if you made predictions.
But only 2 of you did.
So if we don't get that many responses, we might just do a finals prediction in the end. We might just say, who do you think is going to win and how many games? And we might also, put in a little sugar, who do you think the MVP is going to be? So we might do something like that. But make sure you check out the site, guys, and follow us on Twitter and everything else, like our Facebook page. But sorry it's been a while, but we're going to keep trying to do it once a week. And just keep in tune to the NBA playoffs. So. Is that it?
Yep.
All right.
All right, fellas.
Look out for us, Game 3 in Philly, Friday night.
We'll be with the dancers.